Hi, greetings. This is Ebony from Ebbys Lounge, your sister circle facilitator, author, and empowerment coach. I help women identify, activate, and develop a game plan so they can do work that they love and work that's aligned with their purpose, passion, and peace. So, you know, Ebbys Lounge, I would say it it's birthed through my own experience, going to college, getting a degree. And also, I went to school to become an ultrasound technician. Absolutely loved it. Was helping everybody in the classroom. There were times through my experiences, some of my own personal things that I was going through. There were times where I was ready to quit, and I remember my professor, who was a doctor, told me not to quit. I was doing so well in the class and helping so many other people that I better not quit. So I stayed, and I found it that after school it was kind of difficult to get a job in the field. I worked for a little bit of time, was part-time, and haven't been in the the place that I was working. I noticed that it didn't quite seem that everyone who went into the field was all about helping people. So to make a long story short, I felt that the values did not coincide with my values. And so I left that position, seeking to work in other areas within that field. And I found that it was so difficult to get a job in that field. And it really was kind of devastating to me, going to school and working in that field, going to school and helping so many other people, and really just wanted to help other pregnant women, just loving the whole experience of the miracle of birth. It devastated me when I realized after a year I couldn't find a position. I couldn't find a position in that school, in that field. And also finding out later on that, a lot of students were lied to. A lot of the staff was changed when school students graduated. Just a lot of what seemed like propaganda. It just seemed like a lot of people was not had the opportunity to benefit from the program, although they may have put their sweat and tears in it. And I just realized that I didn't benefit from it the way I wanted to in terms of my career. Loved the class, loved the work, enjoyed helping people in my field. I was able to intern and enjoyed it. Loved helping people, and especially was really passionate in the medical field. Realizing later on that I wasn't going to get a job in that field. And it was kind of difficult. And I decided to move forward. And I remember one day getting in a conversation with another sister. She wasn't a life coach at the time, but she was another sister. And I got a conversation, and we began to tap into other work that I loved. And through our conversation, I had an aha moment, and she asked me a simple question: what other job that you've done that you absolutely loved? And from that moment, I thought about my experience working with seniors. I would love recreation. I love organizing events. I loved working with the senior population. And it brought me back to my first job, working as a teenager, working in a senior center. And from that experience, I actually, after having been out of a job for a year, that one conversation, that aha moment, allowed me to put my resume into a particular senior center at the time. And within a week, I got a job as a director over the senior activities, and loved it. I loved it. And it allowed me to realize that sometimes rejection is God's redirection. And sometimes sometimes people get discouraged, and they feel like, and they see where what they invested in was not necessarily trying to invest in them. They get bitter. But I want to remind women and remind people that tap into your greatness, tap into your inner greatness. All because something didn't work, it doesn't mean that it's over. Sometimes it means redirection for that time and that moment. And from that experience, I'm going to be honest with you, I realized a gift that I have with seniors. I later on worked in the field, later on always realized that was something that I was able to go back to. Working with seniors, organizing events and activities. I even wrote a play called Who You Calling Old? And I got a cast of seniors after moving forward from another position that I was in. And I got a cast of seniors. I wrote a play, got a cast of senior citizens, and we were able to travel in our local communities to different senior centers performing. Some of my seniors were up to age 86, and they told me that they were amazed that someone at my age was still interested in them. And it brought out that, and also brought out gifts in them that they didn't even realize they had or still had. And I loved it. I was always interested in acting, loved acting as well. Love the arts, dance, and music. So we incorporated that in my play. And my seniors loved it. From there, I also wrote a book called Letters to Grandmas and Papas to honor my own grandparents. And it stemmed from this, the gifts that I have with seniors stem from me working, me having that relationship with my own grandmother. Modeling for her, making her laugh, joking around with her. She used to have me and my sister, and my twin sister and I would actually go to the nursing home to sing songs to the seniors. And so I realized that sometimes your gifts and skills will stem from some of your past experiences. So I was able to tap into my gifts, other areas, other gifts that I had, other skills that I had. And it allowed me to make a living from it, create, from it. Sometimes when there seems like there's scarcity, when it seems like there's no way out, sometimes you just got to tap into your own inner greatness, your own inner gifts, and you'll be surprised what comes out. What came out for me was ability to create plays, the ability to teach dance classes, the ability to instruct drama classes, the ability to write my own books, the ability to organize events, the ability to implement and see my vision come to pass. And that's why Ebbys Lounge is important to me, because I want to help women activate their inner gifts. When what seems like the world saying no to you, it's God saying, yes, I've already given you something inside to use. And from that experience, I remember going to a networking event, sharing about one of my two books, Woman Empowerment, Speak It Till You See It, which was written to inspire women to discover their purpose, activate their gifts, and overcome obstacles. I was told no. I was told I didn't have this credential, this degree, this experience. But I began to speak over my life. And also, in speaking over my life, I created affirmations and scriptures to back up, to add to what I knew that the Creator was calling me to do. And I started seeing results from it. And so that's one of my books, Woman Empowerment, Speak It Till You See It, is about. So again, it's all about, activating your own inner gifts. And sometimes it's great to have someone to empower you to do so. So that's just a little bit of my story. But moving forward, going to that networking event, I shared my books. And I remember coming in contact with a beautiful woman who had an organization, a dual organization. Connecting with her and staying in contact with her, she shared with me that there was a scholarship for African-American women to become doulas, to offer services, doula services for expecting mothers in our community. I was so inspired about that because it reminded me that it reminded me back in the days when I went to school as a young lady to go into to become an ultrasound technician, specifically to work with pregnant women. It allowed me to remind me that what is your purpose can never be fully taken away, cannot be taken away from you. So it allowed me to go back to empowering women. So I became a certified, donor-certified birth doula, being able to help women deliver their babies by providing emotional support, physical support, informational support, and just creating a space where they feel supported, where they feel empowered, where they feel cared for, and their partner as well, where they are in a space with an empowering doula, being able to create a space with an empowering doula to let her know that her baby is important, her life is important. And as we know as women, that I've had a 76-year-old lady tell me that she still remembers her experience giving birth to her baby. And so I was been able throughout the years to acquire these skills, acquire these gifts, or I should say activate my own gifts, and acquire these certifications, as well as acquire more gifts and talents to utilize by just tapping into my own gifts. So that's where I would say the birthing of Ebbys Lounge started from. And after writing my first 3 books, I remember, being in an environment, like the work environment, where women complained, they were unhappy, they complained about their job. And I started by hosting women empowerment workshops, which is really more of a sister circle, where we came together to discuss our career goals, what was in the way, and how we can move forward. So as your empowerment coach and sister circle facilitator, I'm here to help you identify, activate, and develop a game plan to pursue your goals. I am excited to work with you. I'm excited to help you. And know that my experience, my skills, my gifts, and my go-through was all in the journey, in the process, to helping you to achieve your goals. I'm here to help. Feel free to visit me at Ebbys Lounge at Ebbys Lounge.weebly.com, and that's ebbyslounge.weebly.com. Feel free to email me if you have questions. If you're interested in coaching or consultation, I'm here. Welcome. So feel free to subscribe, to like, and I'm wishing you and your family much love, joy, peace, success, and of course, happiness. Thank you.